All right, welcome everybody to a special Rocktober, Pumptober episode of Teaching Crypto. How about Bitcoin making a charge to 119? All right, alts are moving. Only October 2nd. Let's hope this continues. These fireworks have been amazing. Please hit that like, that subscribe, bell notification. You want to be right here for the next 6 weeks. This is what you've been waiting for the last 4 years. This 6 weeks right here, Mr. FOMO. I know you're locked in. Let's get it. What's going on?
I am ready for Pumptober. I've been ready for this all bull run. So now that we're here, I am hoping that we actually get a full Pumptober and that we are going to see our altcoins run, because I have no faith in the altcoins right now, except for the low caps. The OGs, the big caps, I have no faith that they're going to move like they have in the past. So I really need to see some momentum.
Well,
To build that faith
I
in those
agree with
OGs
you, but
back
we've been
up.
telling our audience for over a year now, you want to be mostly Bitcoin because this cycle is so diluted, right? And yes, the alts are not going to 100x in 1 month. It's just not happening. All right. Dogecoin is not going to $2 this month. Injective is not going to 100. XRP is not going to $20, right? iOS Network, one of mine, is not going to $3. Solana is not going to 500. You name it. It's not happening. But what is happening is these things will go up this month, and it is critical.
Right.
ETH is not going probably to 10K, but it might go to 6K. You got to take what you can get. There's a sports analogy, right? You know, if the defense is giving you 10 yards, you can't insist on trying to get 50 in one play. Take the 10 yards. You got to get what you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, what we have are green and an opportunity to make money. And that's what you got to take. You know, you can talk about hodling and hoping that, things happen in 2026, but at your own peril. This is the time to strike. Now, interesting here, Ali on X. He's talking about how there's not a ton of resistance. I think there is resistance, though, at the all-time high a little bit. But once we do go over 125K, you're going to be in a little bit of price discovery. And that's when I think that never goes straight up. Obviously, there might be a day or two where people get liquidated in October. That's where I think the 140 for this month is within reach. I don't think 150 to 180 can happen at the end of the month. I hope I'm wrong, but 140 for sure can happen. And if we do get an extended a little bit of time with Bitcoin into November, then my 150 to 180, I feel really good about. I don't think, I saw a chart that said the global money supply has gone up so far that the fair Bitcoin price is 250. That might be true, but I don't think we get there in October or November. But I do think 150, especially 140 this month, very reasonable. So if your plan is to take profits on your alts and Bitcoin, I think that is the magic number to look at. It doesn't mean it hits 140 on the dot. Could be 137, could be 140. But again, I'm kind of extending my 150 to 180 range right now to think about 140.
You keep freezing up on me. Well, anyway, what he was saying there was that you've got to be flexible when you get to your price points, because we're going to get to 140. If we get to around 140, you're going to want to take profits at some point. So it's going to be important to take those profits and be aggressive.
All right. Just like Bitcoin, sometimes we have a bit of turbulence on the show. But here, like I said, Mr. FOMO, I love these next 6 weeks, because if you're realistic, it's a chance to do well. And that's all you can ask for right now. You can't change what's happened in the past, that old saying. We can't change the fact that this altcoin season has not been the others, but we can do is maximize the time we have.
That's right. And that means the next 6 weeks are critical when it comes to your portfolio. But like I said, and like you said, you're not going to get these 100Xs out of the big caps and the OGs anymore. You're just not going to see that kind of
especially
movement.
when Coinbase, for example, not everyone uses Coinbase, is now allowing people to buy DEXs directly. I don't know if you're aware of that,
Mhm.
but yeah, like if like there was a few days ago where the top gainers, it was like 100x. I'm like, what is this? And I was just doing some research. It's like they were all DEXs. But yes, there are so many tokens that are available. There are AI agent tokens you've never heard of. And I'm not going to list them all on this program. But the bottom line is yes,
20 million tokens
20
on the
million.
market.
Not all of them are
20 million.
actually active, but still, the money is vastly spread out. And honestly, it is what it is, right? This administration did not really put regulation at the top. They put let's make our own tokens and enrich ourselves as much as possible at the top. It is what it is.
Well, remember, he and his administration are not about regulation. They're about deregulation. He's always been about
And
deregulation. And so to
that's not
expect regulation
long
out of
term.
him and his
Long term
administration.
for altcoins, that's not good. That's kind of the reality, is because in crypto, people don't buy based on utility because utility hasn't been proven. We'll see if projects like Avalanche change that with their New Jersey contract, but people just chase whatever they think can go up in 24 to 48 hours. And until that mindset changes, and until there's some regulation so that a 12-year-old can't take out their dad's credit card and launch a token, we have what we have. That's the reality. We've got what we've got. So keep it here because we're going to give you some winners. I'm looking at several Mr. FOMO that have a lot of potential. I'm going to give you one that I haven't spoken about in ages. I think you used to talk about this one, Oregon Trail. Watch that one. The chart looks amazing on Oregon Trail because here's the thing. You can stick to the ones that you've been on that we've talked about, and I'm still holding those tokens. But also Pengu, Oregon Trail, those are a couple that I'm watching that I think have enormous potential this month.
Oregon Trail, I haven't heard of since I was a kid. And I was trying to ford rivers and dying of dysentery on my video game.
That was the original AI, right? That game was kind of like the original AI, if you think about it. um, it's track on TRAC, and I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It's got a $212 million market cap, but it's well below all-time highs. And that's a token that has utility within the crypto space. And I think that's what you might want to look at is what has utility in the next 6 weeks in the crypto space that might go up, right? I think ETH, again, this is a safe play. ETH to 6K, I can't say it's a done deal, but I would be shocked at this point if it didn't happen in the next 6 weeks. So those are the kind of things you want to look at. OGs like Cardano, Polkadot, I have no idea because do they really function? Are they really doing? Forget about Cardano, but even Polkadot in the last cycle had a lot of usage. Is it the same now? Probably not. Things change. There's no rule that says what pumped in 2021 or 2020 is going to pump at the end of this cycle.
Good
The only
point.
thing that we know for sure that probably will go up is Bitcoin, 100%. And so everything else, I'm not saying it's a complete crapshoot. It will go up, but how much it goes up, we just don't know. Is there going to be a Luna that does a 10x in 6 to 8 weeks? It is possible, but remember though, if it does happen, the downward is going to be tremendous. The fall is going to be just just as quick as the high. So just keep that in mind. Keep taking profits unless you're Bitcoin only, Mr. FOMO, and you're holding for the next 8 to 12 years and you're waiting for the mill. But otherwise, this is the month to keep profits. If you haven't started buying, is this your last chance today? I mean, you don't want to buy it in 10 days, 12 days. What do
Yeah,
you
you don't
think?
want to chase pumps. This is the time really when you're going to land your Bitcoin, you're going to land your altcoins. You might even be a little bit late depending on what you wanted to choose on or what you wanted to choose.
You had months.
Yeah, you had months, and you even had a little bit of a mini crash last week that should have put you into a buying mode.
But if you do buy today and you're willing to take whatever you can get, I think it's possible. If you're watching this show a couple days from now, things might be drastically different, right? 48 hours from now, it wouldn't shock me if Bitcoin is charging towards that all-time high. And again, I think there'll be some downward days during October. Not every single day is going to be green, but we're sitting here as at 118.7 trying to get to 119. Um, by the time we have our next show, hopefully we're charging through in the 120s
Hmm.
here. And I kind of, that's kind of what I like. Um, Again, if you're trying to go safe, if you're just wanting to be safe, ETH, BTC, XRP, and Solana, if you want to be really super, super safe, are going to do well. If you want to get a little more riskier, I think Avalanche is poised to do very well.
If you want to get
If you want
risky,
to
you
really,
need to
really
go and look at the micro caps.
well, exotic, one of your favorites, Muse, Mr. FOMO, is market cap right now $4 million. So that one, that's $20 million market cap. I could see something like that with the right now. It might only happen for 2 days. So you got to pay attention. That could do a 5x at some point in the next 6 weeks, but that 5x is not going to hold. And that's where you got to aggressive. Keep it here. Do you hold any Muse and what are your plans?
Muse is one of the ones that I'm eyeing up right now because Muse doesn't really follow the market. It does its own thing, and it has random pumps here and there. I think we're going to see another random pump here in October. So I probably will pick up some Muse in the next couple of days. But easily, Muse, when it pumps, you can look at the chart. Muse goes up into the 20s from single digits. And so it has gone
Yeah.
from like $6 or $7 or $9 all the way to 27 before, and then fallen back down. So when you get a hold of something like Muse, you have to be quick on the trigger to take your profits, but you could also see them skyrocket within a day or so. But again, you've got to be quick.
All right, so we've reached the fourth quarter. You want to keep it here. Please hit that like, that subscribe button, bell notification. Super chats are open. Share the show because this 6 weeks is everything.